Asterisk, in the winter of 1942, London stood on the edge of silence. Not the silence of peace, but the silence before a secret war. And in that silence, one man carried a truth that could burn the world. A man named Arjun Malhotra, an Indian codebreaker who worked for the British intelligence, a man who did déclarer dit. Yet, every agency whispered his name like a ghost story. Because Arjun wasn't just a spy. He was the only one who could read a code the Nazis couldn't break. And the Allies couldn't survive without. Asterisk Chapter 1 The Man Who Never Died. The story begins on a cold December night in London, where fog covers the city like a thick blanket of secrets. The Thames is quiet, the streets are empty, and the war sirens haven't screamed for 3 days, which makes everyone more uneasy, not relieved. War teaches people when nothing happens. Something is coming. Inside a dimly lit underground intelligence bunker, a woman walks with fast steps. Her name is Elena Ward, senior officer of MI7, the department that doesn't officially exist. She reaches a steel door, knocks twice, pauses, and knocks once more. A guard opens the door. Inside sits an old commander staring at a single file on the table, thick, dusty, sealed with dark red tape. Elena stops in front of him. "Sir, is it true?" The commander doesn't look up. He slowly pushes the file toward her. On the cover is a single name. Arjun Malhotra Classified, Ghost Protocol. Status: Killed in action. Status update: Redacted. Elena feels her throat tighten. "Sir, Arjun died 3 years ago. We buried a body." The commander's voice is low, grave. That wasn't his body. Before Elena can react, the lights flicker. The room vibrates. A coded transmission breaches the secure radio channels. A metallic voice echoes. Phoenix awakens. The Ralph moves east. Elena freeze. Her eyes widen. "No, impossible," she whispers. That code was written by Arjun. Only Arjun. The commander stands up. "Get your coat, Ward, if he's alive." Then the war is about to change. Flashback, 3 years earlier. Arjun Malhotra comes, sharp-minded, always carrying a diary filled with strange symbols that no one else could understand. Ebelived. If a code can be created, it can be broken. But if a man learns to think like a code, no one can predict him. His last mission was in Warsaw, where he vanished during a German raid. MI7 found a burnt body, a broken watch, and assumed the worst. But Arjun never died. Back press. Elena opens the file. Photos, maps, intercepted radio messages. And then a recent photograph. Not clear, not complete, but enough. A man standing in the shadow of a Berlin street, with the same scar across the right eyebrow, the same posture, the same eyes. Arjun's eyes. Elena whispers, "He's alive." The commander nods gravely. "And he's sending us a warning," the alarm. Suddenly, a loud alarm explodes through the bunker. A soldier rushes in. "Sir, multiple German U-boats moving toward the British coast. They're using a new encrypted channel we can't break." The commander turns to Elena. "You know what this means?" She nods. "If Arjun is alive, he's the only one who can break that code." As Elena grabs her trench coat and steps toward the exit, she whispers, "Arjun, wherever you are, why did you come back now?" Far away, in the shadows of Berlin, a figure watches the city through a broken window. A voice behind him asks, "Is the message delivered?" The man doesn't turn. He simply replies, "London received the warning. Now the real war begins." The man is Arjun Malhotra, Alive, hidden and carrying a secret that could end World War II or destroy the world. Chapter 2, The Phoenix Signal. Berlin, 1942, a city wrapped in shadows and silence that never truly sleeps. Snow falls over broken rooftops, but inside the German command blocks, typewriters hammer like distant gunfire. Officers march, radios buzz, and buried deep beneath the city's heartbeat, coded messages slip between enemy lines like ghosts. At exactly 2:30 a.m., in a dim underground radio room, Elena Hart, the British intelligence codebreaker, receives the transmission that will change everything à fin pulse. A distorted frequency, a whisper inside the static. She adjusts the dials, sharpens the signal, and then it hits her, the pattern, the rhythm, the unmistakable signature. Itegat et Sargent, the India Afsa Priden the North, Ele Nafris not of. But recognition, Arjun always used a special fragment of Morse. A pattern only to people in the world knew, Elena and Arjun himself. But the message is strange, short, broken, urgent. Just for words, repeated twice, Phoenix rises at dawn. Eleanor's heart pounds. This isn't poetry. Itegat te sakod. A wartime cipher referencing a deep cover mission only the highest British command ever knew. But one detail rattles her. Arjun shouldn't even be alive, let alone sending Phoenix-coded signals right from the German-controlled East Sector. She replays the transmission again and again, listening to every gap, every slip, every breath between the beeps. Her fingers tremble before settling onto her notebook as she decodes. Phoenix equals a sleeper agent activated. Rises equals compromised network, shifting positions. Dawn equals deadline before enemy breakthrough, meaning a spy inside Nazi intelligence is about to be exposed. At sunrise, Elena feels the room tightening around her. Her team sleeps upstairs. The hall is dead silent. But she knows the truth. Berlin isn't safe, not tonight, not anymore. Commande as voice Emmer. If Fina ever activates, run. It means they found one of ours, but Elena doesn't run. She reaches inside her coat pocket and pulls out a tiny metal locket. A gift Arjun gave her 2 years ago before he vanished behind enemy borders. Inside it, a single message engraved. If you hear my signal, trust your courage, not the world. She snaps the locket shut. Her decision is made. She grabs her cipher sheets, slams the radio files into a bag, and shuts every switch in the room. The lights die. The humming stops. Outside, Berlin sleeps blind to the storm rising beneath it. Elena steps out into the freezing air, breath sharp as broken glass. Her target is clear. Find Arjun. Decode the truth. Stop a massacre before dawn. But there's a problem. 3 German officers stand near the entrance checkpoint, worrying about our retransmission intercepted at her light. And the worst, one of them carries a page printed with the exact Morse rhythm Arjun just sent. Eleanor's pulse spikes. Te harit tetra sedit. 2. She lowers her head. tightens her scarf over her face, and walks past them slow, controlled. Silent, their voices slice through the cold. Whoever sent that signal, they're still inside Berlin. Find them before sunrise. Elena's steps quicken. She has one night, one lead, one impossible task. And somewhere in the ruined maze of Berlin's underground tunnels, Arjun waits, alive, hunted, running out of time. But Elena whispers under her breath, steady and fierce. Hold on, Arjun. Phoenix isn't dying tonight, and with that, she disait à chapitre 3. Berlin's midnight rain hit the rooftops like typewriter keys fast, sharp, urgent. Under the flickering street lamps, Aaron waited in the narrow alley behind Kauf Rosenthal, the agreed-upon safe point. But tonight, something felt off. He pressed his back against the cold brick wall. The city was too quiet. No Gestapo patrols, no vehicles, no footsteps, just the eerie hum of tension. Then he heard it. A faint scrape of a shoe behind him. Aaron spun instantly, Luger raised. A tall figure stepped out of the shadows, long black coat, hat pulled low. A cigarette burning, but the flame cast no shadow on the wall behind him. Aaron's breath caught. No shadow, the signature mark of the most feared intelligence ghost inside the Reich. Cody name, Nachtgeist, the night ghost. A man rumored to kill spies before they even reached their mission briefing. A man who had never been photographed. A man who supposedly didn't exist. The cigarette ember glowed brighter as the ghost spoke, voice cold and casual à Jean Aroual. British Cis, your cover lasted exactly for hours longer than we expected. Aaron steadied his weapon, though he knew if the legends were true, a gun wouldn't save him. Funny, Aaron said quietly. And here I thought ghosts only appeared when someone dies. The ghost smirked. Yes, yours. But before Nachtgeist could make the killing move, a sharp whistle echoed across the alley. A car engine roared to life. A black Opel swept in at full speed, tires screeching. The passenger door swung open. Aaron. J'étais in. It was Marie, breathless, shaking, her face stained with fear. Aaron fired. One shot straight at Nachtgeist's chest. The bullet passed through his coat and hit nothing. No blood, no wound. The ghost devint flash. Aaron dove into the car just as Marie slammed the door and hit the gas. The Opel shot forward, nearly clipping Nachtgeist, who remained standing in the rain, still expressionless, still watching. Marie's voice cracked. Aaron, he wasn't supposed to be here. Why would they send HIM? Aaron looked back through the rear window. Nachtgeist's silhouette stood perfectly still. And then slowly he raised two fingers to his temple, a salute. The message was clear. Run while you are coming. Aaron swallowed hard. Marie, what aren't you telling me? She hesitated. Then finally whispered, because Aaron. Nachtgeist était hunting me. Aaron stared at her. Marie's hands gripped the wheel so tight her knuckles turned white. Her next words changed everything. I'm not French resistance. I'm not even who you think I am. I'm an escaped Shadow Code operative from the German Black Echo program. Aaron froze. Black Echo, the darkest secret of the Third Reich. Human experiments to create perfect infiltrators. Ghost operatives who could erase their identities and their shadows, a program Aaron thought had been destroyed years ago. But if Marie escaped, then Nachtgeist wasn't just a legend. He was her replacement, her mirror, her executioner. Aaron whispered, "Tell me everything." Marie inhaled shakily. Chapter 4. Then, she said, because the truth starts at the beginning. Chapter 4. The Black Echo Files. Rain hammered the speeding Opal as it raced down the empty countryside road, cutting through the darkness like a fleeing ghost. Inside, Aaron stared at Marie, not the brave resistance fighter he thought he knew, but something far more dangerous and far more hunted. Her breaths were shallow. Her fingers trembled on the steering wheel. Aaron had seen fear before, but this wasn't fear of death. This was fear of memory. He spoke softly. "Marie, start at the beginning. What is Black Echo?" For a few seconds, she didn't respond. When she finally did, her voice was barely above a whisper. Asterisk, asterisk, Black Echo wasn't a program. It was a massacre. Asterisk, asterisk. Marie continued. The Reich wanted intelligence agents who couldn't be traced. People who could slip into any country, any identity, any life, but to create them. They had to erase everything the agent used to be. Aaron frowned. Erase? She nodded. Memories. Shadows. Past. Family. Self. Aaron's heart thudded. He turned to face her fully. Marie, did they erase you? Her eyes glistened, but she didn't answer directly. Instead, she pulled her sleeve up. They'd been earned into a small brand mark, a 47. Black, jagged lines. A code. Aaron's stomach dropped. You were subject number 47. Marie exhaled shakily. I was supposed to be, but I escaped before the final phase, before they removed the shadow. Aaron felt the blood drain from his face. Removed the shadow? He repeated, horrified. Marie nodded. They believed a person's shadow held their deepest identity, their psychological anchor. If you severed that anchor, you created the perfect operative, someone without fear, without hesitation, without guilt, Aaron whispered. Nachtgeist. Marie closed her eyes. Yes, he was EO1, the first successful shadowless agent. The moment everything changed. Suddenly, Marie's expression hardened. Aaron, the ghost knew exactly where we were in Berlin. He shouldn't have. I used triple blind routes. Aaron's mind raced. There was only one explanation. Someone fed him information. Marie nodded grimly. And the only way we survive. She handed Aaron a small metal cylinder, warm from her palm. Is, if we get this to London. Aaron recognized it instantly. A microfilm container. But the weight felt wrong. He opened it carefully. Inside was a single strip of microfilm labeled Black Echo Termination List. His pulse skyrocketed. Marie, these names. These are British officers. She didn't look at him. They were infiltrated years ago. The Reich planted deep cover replacement shadow operatives. Some of those men are sitting inside the War Office right now. Aaron leaned back in shock. Landesgenspotted Nachtgeist real mission is to stop anyone who knows. Aaron closed the container. We need a plan. Marie's voice trembled as she spoke. We don't have much time. Nachtgeist can track me, not by sight, not by sound. Aaron swallowed hard. Then how? She finally turned toward him. Her eyes, usually brave and bright, were filled with something Aaron had never seen in her before, hopeless certainty. Because he and I were born from the same shadow, Aaron stared. What does that mean? Marie whispered the words that shattered everything. We weren't trained, Aaron. We were split. Aaron's entire world froze. Split? Marie, what are you saying? Her voice cracked. Nasht geist isn't my enemy. Chapter 5. The twin born in darkness, the world seemed to stop spinning. Brest Prethikov's Rotvin Nachtgeist. Her twin. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel possible. But the trembling in Marie's voice was real. The pain in her eyes was real. And the truth dark, heavy, and brutal hung in the air like smoke. The secret birth of shadow operatives. Marie tightened her grip on the steering wheel. Aaron, the Black Echo program, didn't take volunteers. It took children, unregistered, undocumented. No pasts, no families anyone could trace. Aaron forced the words out. So you two were. Born for the program? Marie nodded slowly. We were labeled before we had names. EO1 and E47, the Echo twins. Aaron Froned. But why twins? Marie swallowed. Because the scientists believed identical minds raised in controlled environments could be separated into two roles, one to remember and one to forget. Aaron felt the temperature in the car drop. You mean? One twin keeps their identity and one loses it. Marie's voice cracked. Yes, Nachtgeist was designed to be the perfect weapon. Emotionless, shadowless, empty. And I was supposed to be the memory twin, the failsafe. The one who kept the emotional imprint they erased from him. Aaron whispered, so if he ever became unstable. You were the key to controlling him. Marie nodded. That's why he hunts me. Not because I betrayed the Reich, but because my existence threatens his entire identity. Aaron's stomach churned. He wants to erase you. To stay whole. Her silence was confirmation. The blood, vow a low rumble of thunder, rolled across the sky as Marie finally pulled the car into an abandoned barn. The door slammed shut behind them, echoing through the hollow structure. Marie stepped out, breathing hard, trying to steady herself. Aaron followed. Marie, why didn't you tell me any of this before? She looked at him, eyes haunted with a lifetime of secrets. Because even I didn't remember everything, not until Berlin. Not until I saw him. Aaron's jaw tightened. What triggered it? Marie pointed to her own shadow, long, thin, trembling under the flickering lantern inside the barn. When Nachtgeist entered the room, my shadow reacted. Aaron stared at her, confused. Reacted? How? Her voice fell to a whisper. Our shadows recognized each other before we did. A chill ran through Aaron's body. What does that mean? Marie's expression hardened. The scientists bound us through a conditioning ritual. They believed shadows were extensions of the soul, so they linked ours permanently. That's why he can track me. The closer he gets, the weaker I become. Aaron stepped towards her. Marie, look at me. We're going to break that connection. We're going to stop him. Marie shook her head, trembling. You don't understand. Nachtgeist is to me. If he gets to London before we do, he'll activate every deep cover shadow operative in the War Office. Aaron froze. How many? Marie held up to fingers. Not many, just 2. But they're stationed in the highest levels of British intelligence. Aaron felt the weight of the world settle on his chest. What happens if they activate? Marie whispered. The entire Allied strategy collapses from the inside. The shadow attacked suddenly. The barn lights flickered. Marie's breath hitched. Aaron turned sharply. Marie. She backed away, her voice trembling. He's close. The temperature plummeted. A gust of icy wind cut through the gaps in the wooden walls. Aaron reached for his pistol. Marie grabbed his wrist. No, guns won't stop him. Aaron gritted his teeth. What will? Marie whispered the most terrifying answer possible. Only I can. A shadow moved across the far wall, slow, deliberate, silent. But it wasn't Marie's, and it wasn't Aaron's. Natchgeist had arrived. Chapter 6. When shadows speak, the barn was silent. Docile. A silence, so deep it pressed against Aaron's ears like pressure underwater. Marie stood frozen, staring at the dark shape forming on the far wall. Not a man, not yet, just a shadow. A shadow that didn't belong to anyone in the room. Aaron whispered, Marie, is that him? Marie didn't blink. No. That's his warning. The shadow pulsed like a heartbeat. Then another shape slid across the wall, long and distorted, bending unnaturally as if ignoring the laws of physics. Aaron felt the hair on the back of his neck rise. He's inside already. Marie shook her head. No, he never enters first. He sends the shadow ahead. To observe, to speak. Aaron's voice was barely audible. Speak. Shadows don't talk, Marie. His do. She took a step back, her breath shaking. The shadow's whisper, the shadow elongated, stretched, and then it moved its head. A soft, rasping voice filled the barn. EO1. You ran far, but not far enough. Aaron instinctively raised his gun. Marie grabbed his arm again. Aaron, don't aim at it. Shadows feed on fear. But Aaron's hand was trembling too hard to stop. The shadow continued, voice calm, emotionless, like a machine speaking through smoke. Your memory belongs to us. Return. Aaron stepped forward. Leave her alone. The shadow paused. And then another stray. Your heartbeat is loud, weak. Aaron tightened his jaw. Come here and test it, Marie hissed. Aaron, it's provoking you on purpose. The shadow's edges flickered like fire. You were created to obey. You cannot escape what you are. Marie finally shouted back. I am not EO1 anymore. My name is Marie. The shadow froze. For the first time, it hesitated. Aaron looked at her. What did you just do? Marie swallowed hard. I said something they never allowed us to have. A name. The shadow twisted violently, as if her words physically struck it. Arrive the barn. Once then, dash boom, they burst open. Cold night air rushed in, sweeping dust and hay across the floor, and from the darkness outside, a figure stepped forward, tall, silent. Shoulders squared like an executioner, face hidden under a hood of matte black fabric that absorbed light. Natchgeist. His presence felt wrong-like, reality bent around him. Aaron whispered, Marie, he's not human, is he? Marie shook her head. He is, just not whole. Natchgeist's voice was low, metallic, and unsettlingly calm. E 47 stand down, when the initiative direct him, trembling. I won't go back, not ever. Natchgeist tilted his head slightly like an eagle analyzing prey. Then the directive deems you a severed limb, and limbs must be removed. Aaron stepped in front of Marie. You'll have to go through me first. Nastege didn't even run on Oli. A variable to be corrected. Aaron raised his gun. I've been called worse. The corners of Natchgeist's hood twitched. Almost like amusement, then he lifted one gloved hand. And Marie screamed, "Aaron, move!" The shadow struck the lantern behind Aaron exploded. Not from impact, but as its shadow detached and shot across the room like a spear. Aaron dove aside just as the shadow weapon slammed into the wooden beam where his head had been. Marie rushed forward, grabbing Aaron's arm, pulling him to his feet. "Don't let your shadow touch his. It will paralyze you." Aaron looked down. His shadow was merging toward Natchgeist-like ink, drawn toward a black hole. He pulled away instinctively. "Marie, what do we do?" She grabbed his face with both hands. "Aaron, look at me, listen carefully." Her voice was sharp, focused, urgent. "He can only control shadows when there is one light source. We need multiple. We need chaos." Aaron understood instantly. "Break the lights." "No, make more." He froze. "How?" Marie pulled a flare from her coat pocket, military issue, deep red. By burning the darkness, she cracked it open. Violent, Natchgeist verquoilen not from thee. But because the sudden burst of overlapping shadows shattered his control. Aaron yelled, "Marie, go!" They sprinted toward the back exit as Natchgeist roared. A low, unnatural frequency that rattled the entire barn. The shadows writhed like snakes around his feet. Butek will dench them. Marie and Aaron burst out into the storming night, rain pouring in sheets. Behind them, Natchgeist stepped into the flare's glow, and his shadow split into three. He growled, "Run!" It changes nothing. Chapter 7. The Girl Who Should Not Exist. Rain hammered the muddy field Ziren, and Marie ran through the night, lungs burning, feet sleeping, closed and stop. Marie kept looking over her shoulder, eyes wide. Aaron finally asked, breathless, "Is he following?" Marie shook her head. "No." Natchgeist never follows immediately. He observes first. Calculat. He'll strike when we're most vulnerable à Romuteur. Great. So we just wait for death with better scenery. But Marie wasn't listening. She had stopped frozen staring at the old road stretching toward the distant trees. Aaron grabbed her shoulder. "Marie, what is it?" She spoke in a whisper. "This place. This is where I first woke up. The Forbidden's memory. Aronfroned." "You mean where you were born?" Marie shook her head slowly. "No, E-47s aren't born. We're activated." Lightning cracked across the sky, illuminating Marie's face veil, terrified. I remember a cold metal table, bright lights, and voices. She clenched her fists, nails digging into her palms. They were arguing about me. Aaron stepped closer, arguing about what? Marie swallowed, trembling. About whether I should exist. Aaron's chest tightened. "What do you mean?" Marie looked at him, eyes filling with a sadness he'd never seen. "They said I was a mistake. A breach in the directive. A contamination." Her voice cracked. "One of them wanted to terminate me immediately." "But someone else stopped him," Aaron asked gently. "Who?" Marie looked away. "I don't know his name. I only remember him saying, 'She's different, let her live.'" Aaron felt a chill run down his spine. "Different how?" Marie turned toward him. "I feel things, Aaron. Fear, guilt, hope, love. None of the others do. Not like this." Aaron replied softly, "That's not a flaw, Marie. That's being human." But Marie didn't smile. She backed away slightly, voice trembling. No, you don't understand. E-units aren't supposed to feel anything. I wasn't designed to blend with humans. I was designed to replace them. Aaron's stomach dropped. You mean you're a weapon? Marie nodded slowly. The kind they feared would turn on its creators. The files she should not know. Aaron tried to stay calm. Marie, what else do you remember? Marie looked up at the storming sky. I remember escaping that facility, but not alone. Aaron stiffened. Someone helped you? Yes, a girl. Aaron blinked. A girl? Like you? Marie hesitated. No, not like me. She wiped rain from her eyes. She was human, young. Même 12. And she kept telling me one thing over and over before they caught her. What did she say? Marie's voice dropped to a whisper. You must find him. He's the only one who can stop them. Aaron frowned. Find who? Marie looked terrified. I don't know, but I think Nachtgeist does. She turned, slowly, as if realizing something horrific. That's why he's hunting me. Not because I escaped, but because I remember the shadow returns. A sudden crack split the sky, not thunder. A sound like steel tearing through water. Aaron spun around. Marie move. A shadow blade ripped through the air, slicing the mud where they stood. Nachtgeist stood at the top of the hill, rain sliding off his hood. Shadow tendrils swirling at his feet like living smoke. His voice echoed across the field. E 47. You accessed restricted memory. Terminate and reset. Marie whispered. He knows. Aaron stepped forward. Nachtgeist. Why does she remember a human girl? What was she? What did she know? Nachtgeist tilted his head. Irrelevant data. Contaminated subject. Eliminate. Aaron shouted. Just tell me the truth. Nachtgeist answered with chilling simplicity. Because she was the only human we could not control. Marie staggered backward, horrified. Aaron whispered, Marie, what does that mean? Before she could answer, Nachtgeist pointed at her. The shadows converged. E47 is compromised. Execute. Aaron grabbed Marie's hand. Run. They sprinted through the storm as Nachtgeist and his shadows lunged forward like a tidal wave. And as they fled, Marie whispered one final sentence that chilled Aaron to the bone. Aaron. I think I know who he wanted me to find. Aaron gasped. Who? Marie looked at him with terrified eyes. You. Chapter 8. The girl who was never supposed to change the train rattled through the darkness, slipping across the countryside like a steel shadow. Aaron sat by the window, hands locked together, replaying every detail Marie had told him, every image. Every moment. Every memory she struggled to hold on to. Marie sat across from him quiet, still, almost as still, like her thoughts were running miles faster than her breathing. The silence wasn't normal, not for her. Aaron glanced at her reflection window. Aaron didn't tid anymore. They looked, aware, as if she finally understood something he didn't. Marie, what exactly did they do to you? Aaron's voice was calm, but the tremor in his chest betrayed him. Marie lifted her head. Her voice was barely above a whisper. Aaron, I wasn't designed to feel, but now I do. The air between them tightened. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. Aaron leaned closer. Marie, you've said that before. But what does it mean? Are you remembering more? Are you forgetting less? Marie closed her eyes. I'm not supposed to change. Nightgeist designed me to follow commands, to complete missions, to retrieve data, to observe. She opened her eyes again, clear, sharp, human. Not to evolve. A chill went down Aaron's spine. Evolve how? Marie looked down at her hands, trembling. Asterisk, asterisk, every operative, made like me. Resets every 72 hours. Memories wiped. Emotions deleted. Behavior restored. Asterisk, asterisk. Aaron's heart dropped. How long has it been since your last reset? Marie met his eyes. 6 months. The words hit him like a punch. 6 months. 6 months without a reset. 6 months of memories she wasn't supposed to keep. 6 months of thoughts she wasn't programmed to think. 6 months of feelings she wasn't allowed to feel. No wonder Natchgeist wanted her back. No wonder they were hunting her like a rogue weapon. Marie wasn't malfunctioning. She was becoming something new. Something dangerous. Something free. The train screeched around a curve. Overhead lights flickered. Snow blazed past the window like white fire. Aaron leaned forward. Marie, why tell me now? Her lips parted, voice cracking. Because something is changing faster than before. Something I can't control. She touched her temple. My mind is splitting. Aaron's pulse spiked. What do you mean? There are 2 parts of me, she whispered. One that still hears their commands, and one that refuses to obey. She pressed her palms to her head, and the part that refuses is winning. Aaron reached across and grabbed her hands. Marie, listen to me. That's not a weakness. It's strength. You're becoming... No, she cut in sharply. Her voice had a new edge. Not fear, but warning. You don't understand. If I evolve too far, I become unpredictable, dangerous, even to you. Aaron didn't blink. Then I'll take that risk. Marie looked at him, really looked at him, and, for the first time in her life, she didn't stare like a machine scanning data. She stared like a girl terrified of breaking someone she cared about. Suddenly, the train lights died. Blackout. Complete darkness. Aaron stood instantly. Marie. Her grip shot out, pulling him down. Stay low. A hum spread through the air. Heavy. Electronic. Wrong. Aaron recognized it. The same frequency he heard in Berlin. The same sound that tracked Marie before. They weren't alone on the train. Somebody found them. Marie's eyes glowed faintly in the dark and eerie, soft amber. Suddenly, she whispered, Aaron, there's something else. Her voice trembled. Not with fear, with truth. Truth she'd been hiding. Truth she was scared to say. Aaron swallowed. What is it? Marie leaned in inches from his ear. You were never supposed to meet me. The words froze him. She continued, whispering fast. I wasn't sent to protect you. Aaron's blood ran cold. I was sent to monitor you. The darkness around them felt heavier. What do you mean, monitor me? Her lips pressed into a thin line. Nachtgeist is mika functioning. They want me back, because I know your truth. Asterisk, asterisk, Aaron's heartbeat thundered. My truth. Marie, what truth? Marie took a breath, one that sounded too human. Asterisk, asterisk, you are connected to Project E. Not by accident. By design. Asterisk, asterisk. The train hummed louder. Footsteps echoed in the next coach. Multiple fast. Aaron whispered harshly. Marie, tell me everything, now. She turned, her face toward him, eyes full of fear and clarity. Aaron. You were part of the project before you were even born. His stomach dropped. His chest froze. Everything he ever knew about himself cracked in a single second. But Marie wasn't finished. Her voice dropped to a fragile whisper. You weren't supposed to know. I wasn't supposed to feel. But now, nothing is following the plan anymore. The footsteps grew closer. Marie rose slowly. The air around her changed. No longer scared, no longer controlled. She stood like something awakened. Aaron, listen carefully. Her voice was calmer than he'd ever heard it. I am evolving because of you. And they will destroy us both if they find out why. Aaron grabbed her arm. Why? Why me? Marie finally answered. Not like a machine, not like an operative, but like a girl choosing someone over her creators. Because you are the only person I can't forget. The train doors burst open. Shadows flooded the aisle. Marie shoved Aaron behind her. Her last whisper cut through the darkness, and that is the real reason they want me back. Kurt Doblak. Chapter 9. The first cracks. The night air was cold. Everything inside the palace seemed calm. But inside Eileen's heart, a new storm was rising. That night, Zion couldn't sleep. He kept turning restlessly, as if a heavy weight was pressing down on his chest. Eileen asked softly, "What's wrong? You seem so uneasy." Zion didn't lift his eyes. "Eileen, I feel like something isn't right in the palace." Eileen posed what do you nervously. "Ever since we arrived, I've noticed the way people look at you. Some of the courtiers, they don't seem happy because of you." Eileen smiled faintly. "I don't care. Zion, I'm here with you. You're the only one I worry about." Zion gripped her hand tightly. "I'm afraid for you, Eileen. You don't know the rules of the court, and people here are cunning." For the first, Eileen felt it, the palaceful. The next morning, the first crack appeared. When Eileen entered the dining hall, everyone fell silent. Eyes turned toward her, some hiding poison behind sweet smiles, some showing open hostility, some filled with surprise. The Queen Mother spoke sharply. "So even a common girl can become a queen now. How the world has changed." The entire hall froze. Zion immediately said, "Eileen is not common, she is my queen." But that was when Eileen realized, even silence can wound deeply. When she sat down, a maid approached hesitantly and whispered, "My lady, the kind of tea you requested. It's what commoners drink, not royals." Eileen simply replied, "That's fine. I'll have what the common people drink." Whispers rippled through the hall again. But Zion looked at her with pride, as if telling her silently, "That's why I chose you." After breakfast, Eileen was taken to the palace library. The court tutor said, "You must learn royal posture, royal tone, and royal presence." Eileen laughed. "Am I becoming an actress?" The tutor replied not proudly, but sternly, "No, my lady, you are the future queen. Here, everything is a performance." His words struck directly, but Eileen made up her mind. "All right then, let's begin." In the evening, when Zion returned, she was tired. But there was no defeat in her eyes, only determination. "Eileen, are you all right?" "Yes, I'm just learning." Zion brushed a strand of hair from her face and said softly, "You're perfect. You don't need to change anything." Eileen gave a faint, bittersweet smile. "Maybe not me, but your world does." Zion fell silent, because he knew. Eileen was right. The first crack had already appeared inside the palace, and this was only the beginning. Chapter 10. The Silent War begins. The night's darkness pressed against the palace walls, growing deeper. From the outside, everything seemed calm. But inside, a silent war had begun. Eileen first sensed this war when she was summoned by the two most powerful women of the court, Lady Merenisa and Lady Samaira, to their private chamber, the Meeting of Thorns. The room was luxurious, fragrant, yet the air carried a strange, poisonous softness. Lady Merenisa smiled. "Eileen, we thought we should tell you a few royal realities," Eileen replied politely. "Of course." Lady Samaira looked her over sharply. "Do you know why Zion chose you?" Eileen answered firmly. "Because he loves me." Both women laughed, a low, condescending laugh. Merenisa leaned closer. "Love isn't the game of the court, Eileen. Here, alliances are made to build power," Samaira added. "If you don't learn to play this game wisely, you'll break." Eileen stayed silent. She understood. This wasn't advice, it was a warning, a course d'archetiquette. Over the next 2 weeks, Eileen learned things an ordinary person could never imagine. Every smile has a different meaning. Every compliment hides a rivalry. In the court, people don't hold your hand. They pull it down to make you fall. And the hardest truth: here, acting matters more than honesty. At night, resting her head on Zion's shoulder, Eileen would whisper, "Your world is so strange." Zion would laugh softly. "That's why I need you. You're the simplest, truest thing in my world." Eileen thought quietly, maybe not simple, but true. Yes, the first real attack. One night, there was a court dinner. Eileen wore a simple, elegant dress. But Lady Samaira quickly remarked, "Our future queen looks rather basic tonight." The entire hall fell silent. Zion's eyes burned with anger, but Eileen pressed his hand to stop him. She stood up. Every gaze fixed on her. Then she smiled. Being basic is better than being fake. Gasps rippled through the hall. Zion looked at her with pride. That night, Eileen won her first victory in the palace. Small, but sharp. The Queen Mother's move. That night, the Queen Mother summoned Zion to her private chamber. Her tone was cold. "That girl. She's not worthy of your status," Zion replied firmly. "In my life, I decide what is worthy of me." The Queen Mother's voice turned sharp. "The court will never accept her. And, if you insist, neither will I." Zion froze. For the first time, a real wall had risen in the path of their love. Eileen's unseen strength. When Zion returned, he was troubled. Eileen didn't ask anything. She simply held his hand and said, "Whatever happens, we'll face it together." Zion looked at her. In her clear eyes, there was courage. Serin tat moment. Eileen didn't need Eileen. Their love grew stronger. But the war had truly begun. The silent war was about to become loud. Chapter 11. The scandal that shook the palace. The cold night air echoed through the marble halls of the palace. Everything seemed calm. But within that calm, a bomb was hidden. A bomb designed to destroy Eileen, the setup. Early in the morning, chaos erupted in the palace courtyard. Royal guards came running. Court members whispered and pointed. And in the middle of it all, a scandalous photo of Eileen had been leaked. In the photo, Eileen stood close to an unfamiliar man in a dark hallway. The angle made it look like she was having an affair. The entire palace was in shock. Lady Samaira immediately raised her voice. "This is unacceptable. The future queen." "Really?" Lady Meronisa feigned sympathy. "Poor Zion, his heart will break." Whispers spread everywhere. She cheated. She's not loyal. She can't be trusted. Eileen stood frozen. She looked at Ainley understood. Et toi, attrapa carefully planned. The secret OM. Zion stormed into the palace courtyard like lightning. There wasn't anger in his eyes. There was fire. He picked up the photo in front of everyone and slammed it to the ground. "Fake." The hall went silent. Zion roared. "This photo is edited. And anyone who believes Eileen could do this doesn't know me at all." Everyone fell quiet. But this time, Eileen didn't stay silent. She stepped forward. "Bring the Royal Investigation Board." Her voice was steady, sharp, commanding. "Whoever planned this, I want their face in front of me." For the first time, the palace saw. Eileen wasn't just a simple girl. She was a lioness,